Hey Beacon, it's Mr. O'Sullivan. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 2-5, the equations of lines. So the first thing we're going to do is fill in our blanks up here for the slope-intercept form of a line, which is y equals mx plus b. And the reason why we call it slope-intercept form is because it helps us identify our slope and our y-intercept real quickly. And then the standard form of a line is just basically ax plus by equals c. The nice thing about this form is that it allows you to actually find your x-intercepts and y-intercepts super duper quick. On the right-hand side, you see our slope formula, which you might hear us say is rise over run. We also use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then if we're feeling really fancy, we sometimes use delta y over delta x for the change in y over the change in x. So now let's look at our vocab section. So if we have the equation y equals 2x minus 7, we want to identify our slope and our y-intercept. Now remember up here what we said, the slope is always going to be the number attached to our x value. So if I look here, the number attached to x is a 2. And my y-intercept is a negative 7. We have to keep track of that sign. Now one thing I like to do is whenever I just have like a whole number for slope is I like to put it over 1. Now we are going to be graphing each of these lines, so might as well just, graph it now. So if I'm graphing y equals 2x minus 7, I like to start at my y-intercept of negative 7. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to plot a point right there. Now it's saying positive 2. So what I like to do is go up 2 and to the right 1. So we're going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and I keep following that pattern. And then it's going to make a beautiful, nice straight line. Go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and I ran out of room. So now I'm going to go backwards, which is going to go down 2 to the left 1. So down 2, left 1. And then I just draw a line going through my points. And then we have our graph. So that's y equals 2x minus 7. Now, if I look at the other one, that one's a little more fun, if you ask me. I have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. So when I have negative 1/2 x plus 3, the first thing I need to do is find my slope, which is the number attached to x. So if I look, it's negative 1 over 2. And then my y-intercept is a 3. Again, the first thing we do when we're graphing is we plot our y-intercept. So I'm going to plot a point right at 3. Then I'm going to go down 1, right 2. So down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And I run out of room. So now we're going to go backwards. We're going to go up 1, left 2. And I'm going to start back for my y-intercept. So up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. And then I draw a line going through those points. And see, look, it's beautiful. It's nice. They intersect. If you remember, that's called our solution to a system. So lines are not always going to be written in that y equals mx plus b form. Sometimes you do just have to do a simple manipulation, typically 1 or 2 steps to rearrange them. So if we look here, all these equations are in standard form. What we're going to do is we're going to rewrite them in slope-intercept form, so that y equals mx plus b. And then we're going to identify our slope and our y-intercept. So if I look at the first equation, we're going to do this one together in class, and then you're going to obviously try to do B and C with your partners. But if you missed the class, you can watch the video. If I look at this example, it says 2x plus 3y equals 12. When I'm rearranging, I like to draw a line down my equal sign. And I know I want to get it into that y equals mx plus b form. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our y by itself. So I like to highlight it. Got to quarantine it. So I have to ask myself how to get rid of that 2x. Well, I'm going to subtract 2x to both sides of my equation. So subtract 2x, subtract 2x. Now, always write the x first. It looks more mathy. So we're going to write 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. And then we have to ask ourselves, how do I get rid of that 3? I'm going to divide 3 to every single one of my terms. So I divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and then my 3's cancel. So now I'm left with y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 4. Always simplify your fractions. Like, don't leave that as a 12 over 3 because it can be reduced. So now we're going to identify our slope, which is negative 2 over 3, and my y-intercept, which is 4. And that is how to rearrange it. So you should try to do B and C by yourself. But if you want to watch, here's how we do it. So if I look at B, I draw a line down my equal sign for y plus 2x equals 7. I want to get my y by itself, so I subtract 2x, subtract 2x. And if I look, it's nice and quick. It's already in that form. Y equals negative 2x plus 7. So again, my slope is the number attached to x. So in this case, it's a negative 2. And my y-intercept is 7. So note, you can say B or y-intercept. It means the same thing. Now this one's a little extra spicy. We want to get that x on the right-hand side for our 4x minus 6y equals 7. So I subtract 4x, subtract 4x. We get negative 6y equals negative 4x plus 7. And now we're going to divide every single term by negative 6. Now remember, when I divide a negative by a negative, I do get a positive. So that negative 4 over 6 does reduce. So I have y equals 4/6 x minus 7 over 6. But if I think, wait a second, I actually can simplify 4/6 to make it look a little nicer. I can divide both of my terms by 2, which becomes 2/3 x. So my slope is 2/3, and my y-intercept is negative 7 over 6. Okay, parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines are lines that will never intersect. They're never going to cross each other, so they're going to look like this. And then perpendicular lines are lines that are going to intersect to form right angles. So for instance, they could look something like this. And I have like a right angle there, 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 and there. Now for parallel lines, the slopes are the same. So like some examples of parallel slopes are like, say, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, negative 9/10 and negative 9/10. But perpendicular slopes are a little more interesting. They're negative reciprocals. So an example of a perpendicular slope could say be 1/2. And if I do the negative reciprocal, which is flipping and negating, I would flip this and get 2 over 1 and then make it negative. But remember, that would just be negative 2. I could also have, like, say, 3/4. So the negative reciprocal of that would be negative 4/3. I could also have just, like, say, a regular number like negative 2. If I have negative 2, that's really negative 2 over 1. So if I flip it, I get 1 over 2, and it becomes positive. So be careful when you're doing things like that. Okay, so now in the putting it all together section, it says on the grid below, the line S is graphed as well as the point 2, 4. Part A says draw a line parallel to S and passes through the point 2, 4. Write an equation line below. So the first thing I'm going to do is sort of figure out what my slope of line S is. So I'm going to actually use rise over run. So I'm going to look at my nice point. So if I look right here, that's a nice point. And if I look right here, that's a nice point. I'm going down 2 and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can say my slope or my rise over run is negative 2 over 4, which reduces to negative 1 over 2. So the slope I have is negative 1/2. Now we know our parallel slope is going to be negative 1/2 because it's going to be the same slope. Now it wants us to draw a line parallel to S and going through the point 2, 4. So what I'm going to do is go down 1, right 2, because it's going to be the same slope. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. And I run out of room. Now I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to go up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, and then up 1, left 2, and then up 1, left 2. And then I have my line. And if we look, these two lines are never going to intersect whatsoever. They're perfectly parallel to each other. Now, we want to write our equation. We know our equation's y equals mx plus b. We know our slope is negative 1/2 x, or negative 1/2. And our y-intercept, well, what's that number? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our equation. Now, part B says draw a line perpendicular to S that passes through the point 2, 4. So if we think about it, we know this slope right here is negative 1/2, which means that my perpendicular slope is going to be the negative reciprocal. So positive 2/1, or just 2. We now want to go through the point 2, 4. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to start at the point 2, 4 and go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and then I'm going to go backwards. So now I'm going to go down 2, left 1, 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 and then I draw a line going through it. And if you look, it is going to be perpendicular. It does cause some right angles, and it actually does create some cool angle relationships, which we'll learn about in the next unit. So if we look, we now have our equation. We know our slope is going to be 2x, or just 2. And our y-intercept is 0. So my equation, you can write it as that, or we can just write y equals 2x. Okay, now what you're going to do is try to do the you try questions, and you can compare this with the answer key on Google Classroom. Have a great day, Beacon. Okay, let's look at the you try questions. So it says, given the equation negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 12, we want to write an equation of a line parallel through the point negative 6, 5, and we want to write a line perpendicular through the point negative 4, 7. So what I'm going to do is first rearrange my equations. I'm also going to give myself some room to do this problem because we were not nice and didn't give you that much room. So let's look. If we look here, what we should do first is rearrange this equation up here so we can find our slope. So if I have negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 12, what we can do is we can add 2x to both sides of our equation. And then we get 3y equals 2x minus 12. And then to get our y by itself, we simply just divide by 3. And then they cancel, and I get y equals 2/3 x minus 4. So that means my slope for my line is 2/3. So if I go to question A, it says write the equation of a line parallel. So one thing I would recommend that you do is take out your highlighter, highlight parallel, and immediately write down same slope. So that means when I write my equation of y equals mx plus b, we know we're going to have the same slope, which we just said was 2/3. Now here's the thing, we don't know what our y-intercept is, but we do know a point that lies on our line, and the point is negative 6, 5. If I look, this is an x value, and that's a y value. So we're going to plug in those values to solve for our y-intercept. So we're going to get 5 equals 2/3 times negative 6, and then we're going to add a b value. So now if I do 2/3 times negative 6, that gives me a negative 4. And now I simply add 4 to both sides to get b. So I get b equals 9. So now when I put it all together, my parallel equation is going to be y equals 2/3 x plus 9. And that's your final answer. Now the perpendicular line is super similar. I would highlight the word perpendicular and then immediately write down the word negative reciprocal. Because when we do a negative reciprocal, we have to flip and negate. So if we know our original slope is 2/3, we know our perpendicular slope is going to be the flip of it. So 3/2. And it was positive, and now it'll be negative. So when I do this equation, we're going to have y equals mx plus b still, but it's going to be y equals negative 3 over 2 x plus b. And now we are using the point negative 4, 7. So we still have that x value. We still have that y value. Let's plug it in to solve for b. And when we do that, we're now going to do negative 3 halves times negative 4. So negative 3 halves times negative 4 is going to give me, well, let's see, negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12. Divide by 2 gives me a 6. So we get 7 equals 6 plus b. And then we subtract both sides by 6. So we get b equals 1. So now when we put it all together, my equation is going to be y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 1. And that's how we write the equation of a line.